Yay, it's drafting time. Let's get rid of this. Alright, another M15 draft. Here we go. Hey guys, I'm Ryan from Mana Bluff. We got a pack here. Haunted Plate Mail, definitely a playable rare. Same with the Silverback, Broodkeeper, Wall Mulch, all playable uncommons. But I think we're looking here at Flesh to Dust and Lightning Strike. Lightning Strike and Chilled Spirits, as we know, are kind of those like first pick commons that we all love. I also love that Broodkeeper's only the red card in the pack. Little side note, just as a passeroo. Definitely want to pay attention to passing Flesh to Dust. That's really just the next best thing. Haunted Plate Mail is arguable, but it doesn't go in every deck, especially if I'm looking to go to the red deck. I'm quite happy just to go ahead and slam an amazing first pick. Now, what else is here? Ooh, Raise the Alarm is quite nice. Netcaster Spider, quite nice. The red cards are very playable, but not quite as powerful. Gargoyle Sentinel, the uncommons are all very playable as well. This is actually a really good pack. Look at this. Besides Tireless Missionaries and... yeah, Tireless Missionaries is the only, like, really, like, horrible card. Everything else is very, very good. Netcaster Spider... or, sorry, Necrobite is kind of blah. I think I'm just going to go with Raise the Alarm. I don't know. I always feel annoyed when I start on a recording going like white-red or just any of those two because they're just such the strong or the like overdrafted colors you see all the time. But they win games, and I like to win. Bop, 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 bop. Curlberry I like quite a bit. I mean, a rare's taken here, so there's not a lot for me to know. I'm just kind of paying attention to what's in the pack and what's going around. Hello, another wonderful pack. I think I slammed the Heat Ray, despite that a Cur Chieftain is pretty cool and Kringles and Forces is great. But, I mean, red removal is fantastic. We'll stick to that game plan. I don't like that those are also kind of like the best cards in the pack, along with Satyr Wayfinder, because I don't love, like, throwing the red thing down. But if I'm red, I'm going to be cutting it pretty hard. I do love me a Cur Chieftain, and I do like to fill out my deck with Kringles Enforcer, but it's a Heat Ray. It's not the best removal spell. It's no Lightning Strike, but it's good. White is... these are playable, so that's good. We're not overdrafting here. No good black, which is kind of nice for the person considering who I passed to. Pat Mage is fine. But yeah, it's definitely between the red cards. I'm not going to move into green, though, considering we have good red here. So we'll just continue with this game plan. Could take the crowd's favor here. I'm really not excited to take it fourth, but it's kind of nice to be cutting some red. And this is the first kind of weakish pack we've seen. Yeah, there's a Paragon. No reason to move into blue on it. Boonweaver Giant, it's nice to have if you're in white, especially if you open a Spectra Ward, but who cares? It's 7-drop. Mark Browner, very whatever. Yeah, I'm really just taking the crowd's favor to be cutting red. I hope I'm not overly cut in red. May not be the case considering what we saw in the second pack, that someone to the right probably isn't red. But if someone, 2 seats to my right is, that could be a bummer. If there wasn't a dorky red card in the pack, it's probably between a Marked by Honor just to go with the Raise the Alarm, or just start moving into a little bit of black, but we haven't seen a lot of black besides what we opened, so I'm really not excited for that pick, but I think it's correct. Here, we're just going to pick up a 2-drop. We'll take the Generator Servant. If we end up going red-green, that'll be nice. If not, it's just a solid 2-drop in the one color that I know I am right now, versus, I mean, Atlanta Waste, but we don't know if we even need that. A 2-drop in a color we know we're not. A 2-drop in a very good color, but it's probably just as good as a Servant. And again, we know we're red, so we'll slam that. I like that Swiftclaw was in the pack, though, as sort of like a side note. If I end up like being base red and like open up a Triplicate Spirits, it looks like white is kind of around. Alright, so we're a little bit forced to move away from red now. And I'm not going to pick up a Congregate or Solemn Offering, 2 white sideboard cards. I think I'm going to take the Peel here, which I really like. A little low on creatures, but I don't really want to be committing to heavy blue cards, especially just sort of filler blue cards. Kite Fins can be very good, and Crust serves a role in a blue deck, but not if we're pretty good on our removal in red. And besides that, it's like Crippling Blight, right? Titanic Growth. Peel is actually really good. We haven't seen a lot of blue in general in this pack, but if that's what's kind of being passed late, I'm down to pay attention. Here now we're kind of thrown for a mini loop. Torchfiend, again, might just be the pick just to stay on color, but it's also weak enough away from, like, say, a Selfless Cathar, which is really good in the Convoke deck, even though we don't have the really good cards in it. Or Shaman of the Springs, which is really nice in just sort of any green deck. Scavenger is fantastic if I was in the Dredge deck, which I'm not. I'm not in black green, of course. Yeah, I think I'm going to just stick to the Torch Fiend game plan. I'm really not excited for any of these other cards. I really would just rather stay on the red plan. Alright, here's a late Rot Feaster Maggot, Nimbus, and Roaring Primodox, which means I'm a little bit on the forcing thing of red at this point if we're not seeing good red cards around. But, now to decide what's the other color. I think I'm going to go with the Nimbus here, only because I have Appeal already. And I think Rot Feaster Maggot is better. It's the best card in the pack. Roaring Primodox could be good if you go off, but I'm not looking to go off in green this way. I just want, if I'm going green, I just want like some fillers of it, so we'll just take that. Hello, Ancient Silverback. I'm going to take the Midnight Guard. Again, this is a really fine 6-drop, and it probably shouldn't be going this late, but if I end up going white, it'll be nice to have this curve filler here. Coral Bear comes back, though. Stay away from black. Noticing that it's really open. Be happy to slam into it if I open a bomb black card in the next pack, because black is definitely the most open color. We've seen quite a bit of it in the last few packs, but seeing a late Coral Bear kind of works as well, too. Here's a Blast Firebolt. That was from this that was the insane red pack where I got the Heat Ray from. I'm happy to grab this now. Hopefully not playing it, but it's fine. We'll pick a Boonweaver Giant, in case Spectra Ward happens. And we can start hedging into other things. So, going off of our Lightning Strike and Heat Ray, those were only 2 good red cards. So I feel like I'm in a position where I started off there and then was really cut from it, and then now I'm debating. I mean, black again was the most open, but it was a little too late for me to jump into it at the time. I'm not too sure if the picks were wrong or what. I like that blue is open, and we've got some pretty decent blue cards. They're not exactly insane or anything, but, I mean, they're around. Here, we should get a lot of good red in the pack, and Goblin Rabblemaster is just so good. I'm happy to pick it up as my rare. Paragon of New Dawns is enticing. Not over the Rabblemaster, especially because we're not so strong on white, but it's good to note. Forge Devil might table, but assuming the next red player who we know is existing in this draft is going to be grabbing it, so there you have it. Curious to see what of these black cards come around if I want to do it, because there's no good blue that I'm going to want to be grabbing. Pilgrim can make the cut. We'll see. It'll be interesting. Let's see what tables. Alright, Aether Spout's quite nice. Red cards we don't care about. We already have a Torch Fiend and a Crowd's Favor, and that's pretty much where I want to max out on that anyway. If I was committed to white, the Skirmisher would be grand as a nice 2-drop. But Aether Spouts really is cool, and I'm kind of liking that we have some powerful blue here. The thing is, I'm not too sure if all the cards are working together in a kind of deck. If we say cut the white, and we don't want to be playing this Bolt either, we have fairly few, business creatures. We have these like kind of dorky 2-drops. Rabblemaster is quite nice, and then like little late game stuff going. And the Rabblemaster doesn't really go with the rest of what we're doing. But whatever, Aether Spouts is just a strong enough card. I'm fine for it. We might play a Glacial Crasher in this color. It might come back. We'll see. And I really don't think I care about anything else. White wasn't opening either, so there's no reason to like force it. I think this Angel could be good. It might mean we want to pick up another Crowd's Favor. Just have some nice early drops. We have some decent 2s, I guess. I definitely think it's worth it now to start getting in on the blue game plan. And actually, picking up the Illusory Angel this early means we can kind of pay attention to our 1-drops or early drops. Yeah, I think Crowd's Favor kind of the main one I want, but also just have enough 2-drops to be able to reliably be casting Illusory Angel at least on turn 5. I guess in a pinch I could cast Heat Ray. Can you cast X equals 0? I think you can. It would suck, but if I just need to get the Illusory Angel down, I'm fine. No other super strong cards in the pack. Playable 2-drop. I love that I'm taking the best card in the pack. That's pretty cool. Murklurker is really nice. I'm not going to take the Glacial Crasher. We saw that early one, and I think that if I want it, I will get it. Feral Invocation is an interesting splash. Hydro Surge is consideration. I only have one Illusory Angel. Sad that there's no red in the pack, considering it wasn't really flowing from my direction. It was cut to me after the first two removal spells, and then, you know, I was cutting stuff as well, so that's kind of interesting to note. I'm not going to move into green for Hunt the Weak. Negate is fine. Pillar of Light, I really like my blue a lot more than the white, so I'm kind of over it. I think the safe pick here is Murklurker. I'm really tempted to take the Feral Incarnation because it's just so powerful. Maybe we'll splash it. We might get into that game plan, but Murklurker will be fine as itself if we have to. And who knows, maybe we do splash black a little bit later. Research Assistant. So it looks like now we're starting to want to move into a more late game strategy. Makes this Rabble Master a lot worse, but it's not like the Rabble Master's bad on its own anyway. It can just hang out on the battlefield for a while Red Goblin tokens just, like, you know, kamikaze themselves into the board state, and then once you take over, if you clear the way, then the Rebel Master can start dishing down, I guess. And again, there's really nothing here that's particularly powerful that I care about, or that I feel like I'm missing out on. Sure, Vampire's fine, but it's basically as good as a Research Assistant also, so. Tinkerer and Mongrel, ow. And the late Sanctified Charge, which is really nice. What do I want? Right now we're actually looking to be a little bit more blue. I like the Mongrel by itself without artifacts a lot more, and we don't have 4-drops, so I'm going to lean towards it. I wouldn't mind a Tinker, and also starting to get like a Bronze Sable, the Golem in there, and just having some, you know, filler functional artifacts to make the artifact thing work. But since we don't have any right now, we're coming near the end of Pack 2, I'm going to kind of guess that I won't have these guys turned on that frequently, and therefore I'll take the one that is a little bit better on its own and that fits my curve more, which is the Mongrel right now. Do I play Clear Path? No, I can't even target if there is no. I was going to say Clear Path, kill my own Coral Barrier just to get my Illusory Angel out. Yeah, that seems like a bad idea. We'll take the Giant. I already have one Blast Firebolt. May not play the first one. Might play it. Thundering Giant's okay. Not really what I'm stoked on, but oh my gosh. How is this Link still in the pack? Super happy to grab it. Slamming it, of course. And at this point, I might want to be keeping my eyes peeled for a Paragon of Gathering Mists. It's the second one. Is this the same one that I saw earlier? I don't know. This is... No, there's another one that was in this pack that I opened, right? Oh, no, that was the white Paragon. Never mind. At this point, we're starting to get a number of blue creatures to where we might want to consider Paragon and start leaning that way. But, I mean, dude, Frostlings. Hello! I'll take the Sable over the Encrust. I have 2 pieces of removal. This guy's a little bit dorky. More double color spells and a solid split deck makes it more uncastable. And again, I actually want this to fill out the 2-drop slot and to start turning on a Mongrel and like a Tinker or something if I get it. I just think it's a little more important in the blue-red deck than an Encrust is. And we've seen so many Encrusts. I'll be able to get an Encrust when I want it. Late Runeclaw Bear. Miner's Bane I would take in general. Definitely okay with this second Crowd's Favor considering Illusory Angel. Not too sure if I'll actually play it. If I happen to get lucky enough to get a second Illusory Angel, definitely will play the second Crowd's Favor. Yeah, that would be insane. Not Ornithoptery, but definitely Crowd's Favor. Don't anticipate that happening. Oh, hey, Negate even came back. I'm stoked on that. I'll take this over the Hydro Surge. I'd rather play 2 Crowd's Favors than like a Hydro Surge. I don't think I'm going to play like a third 1-mana, you know, combat trick. Negate might make it, but I always like to keep in the side. It's not one of my preferences. Might play the Staff just for, you know, artifact value. No, I won't. Don't worry. Well, I'm really stoked about this late Frostlings. Love the way this Illusory Angel. Not too sure about this Murklurker being played yet. It's kind of a 3-drop I don't need. We're good on, you know, our baseline creatures. We need to fill up a little bit more. We'd love to get like another Lightning Strike. If we're lucky enough to get like a Cone of Flame or another Heat Ray. Some really good removal. But yeah, I mean, in thinking of commons, just more Frostlynxes and more Lightning Strikes would be fantastic. I mean, Siege Dragon is certainly a consideration, and this deck might be the kind of deck that wants to get there. We're really split in how I'm approaching the strategy of the deck. But we already have one Generator Servant. We saw another one in the draft that kind of came around. And I think the second one might table, actually. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to that last Generator Servant that I didn't pick. I think I took the Illusory Angel over it, but or some other more powerful card. But I remember seeing one later as well, thinking that it might table. I don't know. We'll see. Wouldn't mind the Appeal from Reality coming back. Gargoyle Sentinel's an option here as well to turn on the Mongrel, but I think with one Generator Servant, and the fact we're going to be a little bit more control-y than normal, I'm going to go ahead and just take a super powerful 7-drop. Not normally how I would go about casting cards, or looking for converted mana cost, but I think I can make that work in this deck. Hello, Lightning Strike. That's an easy pick. We don't need a splash for white. We might splash for black, though at this point, probably not. Coral Bear I would love to see come around, especially now that we're looking to go late. Get our Siege Dragon on. Get our Angel flying things through. But boom, Lightning Strike. Yay! Now here's an interesting pick. Generally the Marauder is just like the most insane 2-drop ever, so you want it. But Jason Ingenuity, if I'm looking to kind of have like a late sort of game strategy, is kind of nice. Turn to Frog and Void Snare are really nice with Illusory Angel. But I think I'd only take those in this spot if it was over, if I had a second Illusory Angel, I should say. I'm still going to go and take the Marauder. Just because, you know, the 2 toughness is important. And it's nice to have just a better 2-drop. And having a little bit of early pressure is fine as well. Yeah, but I'm tempted by this Ingenuity. I just don't think we have enough of a control deck to really be able to play this and keep going, because we're not going to be in like super major control mode. By the time I'm casting a Siege Dragon or something, like I'm going to need it to be, you know, a huge threat, not me drawing 3 cards and then casting something again. I don't know. Krangle's Enforcer or Welcome Turn. This is interesting. Again, looking at what my deck is doing and wants to be doing, I don't think we're super aggressive. But the Welcome Turn to 2 is just super powerful. Plus, I love having more 2-drops with this Illusory Angel. I feel like we can actually now start having a more aggressive build. 2 Lightning Strikes, 2 Crowd's Favors, Heat Ray. That if we take this 2-drop, we're in good shape. The double red kind of is what seals the deal, because I'm definitely playing Aether Spouts. Which can kind of like mess up someone's game plan for a race. Yeah, I think we're going to rock the Welcome Turn. I think we're going to hedge towards some early aggression, and then just have this as a finisher if we need it. I may not even play the Siege Dragon if I get really powerful cards. I doubt that's going to happen enough. I'm only at 19, and our sideboard is not particularly fantastic. But we'll see. Maybe the Blast Firebolt takes over for the Siege Dragon. Yeah, and here's another Welcome Turn. I almost was going to go with this Generator Servant to make the Siege Dragon better, but Welcome Turns and multiples are better. I like it quite a bit. It has the same weakness as the Generator Servant in terms of being 1 toughness, but now we actually have a pretty decent aggressive deck. Makes us Rabble Master. It makes everything so much better now that our 2-drop slot is insane. I'm going to go with Peel. We have 1 Frostlings to make it okay. Doesn't really combo with anything else in our deck. Coral Barrier in a sense, but we're not looking to do that. But I'm still happy to play it. We're at 14 creatures, which is nice. We can add a 15th in with a Murklurker if we want, though I don't think we do. And again, I don't really want the Encrust. With 2 Lightning Strikes, a Heat Ray, we're okay. It's just such a dorky removal spell. And I think Appeal is actually, in this deck, going to be better than the Encrust anyway. It's going to do the kind of removal that we want. So I'm okay with that. Alright, I'll take the Evolving Wilds here. Again, don't really want the Void Snare. It could, if I had a second Illusory Angel, same situation, I'd play it. I don't want the Foundry Street Denizen. We don't have enough red creatures. And the Evolving Wilds allows me to kind of want to just like bust a move back with this Murklurker. And then splash a really easy, like just have 1 swamp and then we're in fine shape. It's basically a free splash at that point. 3rd Peel, interesting. I don't think I'm going to be playing the 3rd Peel. If I had another Frostlings and it'd be kind of comboing off all those, great, but I think this is going to be the base 23. I'll still take it here, just in the event. I could cut this Fester Gloom, which is really good against me, with 2 Welcome Turns and just some of our other X1s. It's not insane against me, but with the 2 Welcome Turns, I think we kind of want to get rid of it. Is there any chance? Yeah, there's no way I'm playing a 3rd Peel. I consider cutting a Crowd's Favor. But I think it's going to be too good with our Illusory Angel. And if you're on the kind of the beatdown, the Crowd's Favor is still good. So I'll just cut the Fester Gloom. Not a huge fan of doing it all the time, but fine. Wow, another Peel and another Generator Servant. I'll definitely take the Generator Servant. Might even make the deck. I don't need the Belligerent Sliver in the 3-drop slot, but I'm thinking maybe we just cut this Research Assistant, play the Generator Servant, side in the Research Assistant against other sort of, aggressive X1 decks to slow things down. I'll take the Statue of the Nile. If you know me, I never play counterspells. I already have a negate in the sideboard, so I'm not taking the other one. Oh, wow. I'll take the Ingenuity here. Again, there's no way I'm playing a Void Snare, and I might either on sideboard or even main deck now want to somewhat adjust what I'm doing to try to go late. I don't think so. I really like the aggression, actually, that I've been able to put together in this build. In Limited, if you can put together a 2-drop curve like this, that tends to be okay. Pretty sure this is going to be the build here. I love having 2 Generator Servants with the Siege Dragon. That's really nice. After all. Yeah. I'm excited. This deck should be okay. Scrapyard Mongrel, meh. Merkler, meh. Coral Barrier doesn't really help what we're doing, but it's a pretty fine 3-drop. Might replace it. It's definitely one of the most powerful spells we have. I want you for my swamp for sure. Let's pause for uno momento. And yeah, here we are after the pause with my little bust move down. And yeah, I think this is going to stay the deck, which we had before. I could totally cut the core bar, like I said, just because it doesn't synergistically go with what we're doing. But I just think it's a powerful enough 3-drop. It helps in the race situation. I mean, it's not grand, but it's there. I mean, I want to be more assertive, but I don't want to like bring in necessarily a Thundering Giant instead of it. I like our curve this way. Could be correct. I mean, getting this guy on the beatdown pretty fast is cool. I'm not too sure about that. Yeah, maybe I cut the Coral Barrier now that I think about it more. It's good, but I want to be on the aggression. And with all these nice 2-drops, our nice removal spells, tricks, and then the peels, yeah, let's do it. Let's add in just another dude. Even Aether Spouts you can consider not playing in this kind of aggressive deck. It's a little bit better on, I think, the control route where you're planning on your opponent being the aggressor and you're just kind of stabilizing with the ground creatures. But it doesn't matter. Like, you get a race situation good. And then even if it takes out two, like the opponent's like what was going to be like chump blockers later because they're just trying to get in while you're getting in, while I'm getting in as well, I'm fine. Yeah, it just helps. I just think it's such a powerful effect that, let's say I get blown out by some like early attack or something, or I am like on the back foot, it can, I can continue to add to the board with my dorky quote-unquote creatures if my opponent starts outclassing. If my opponent doesn't play around the rare, like we can kind of get it pretty good. I'm also more okay with playing all the double spells now versus like what I was saying in the draft, because we do have the Evolving Wilds, which will just smooth things out based on whatever our draw is. Yeah, I think I like the Giant over the Coral Barrier. I was a little too excited by it. I do think it's right not to play the Research Assistant, by the way, in the 2-drop slot. We want to be beat down way more than anything else. And this helps in our race situation. Alrighty. What do you suggest, Magic Online? No, I want one swamp. I think that's right. 9 mountains should be fine. 8 islands. Yeah, there you go. Is that right? 50, yeah, there we are. Done. Dunzo and Dunzo. Woohoo! Fun deck. Let's go play some Magic.